Hello there, Internet people. It's your good buddy Rue, back from a much longer break than I expected. And I'm sorry for the three of you that missed me. I'll try to do this more regularly as we go forward. So let's get going. Got a lot of books this week. First up, first wave number one. Seriously, if you didn't buy this, don't. This book was horrible. Unless you're big into art and you want to spend $4 on a book that has some really, really pretty art. I have no idea what happened in this book. I don't consider myself stupid, but I might be. I just don't think I am. And I have no idea what was going on. It might just be me. I just don't think that Doc Savage and the Spirit are well known enough mainstream to use them to introduce a new pulp universe without any kind of explanation or introduction. Prelude to Deadpool Core number one. This is what I want out of a comic book. XX violence, over the top dialogue, Liefeld art that doesn't make me want to puke. It's like he's finally realized what he is and he can become a caricature without being awful. This was a lot of fun. If you don't read Mark with a Mouth, which you shouldn't because it sucks, this gives you enough information for you to just move on rather well with what's going on with Deadpool Core. And before I get any kind of emails or whatever about Captain America versus Deadpool, shut up. One, it's a different universe, so we don't know what's going on with Captain America. And two, way back in Joe Kelly's run, number 25, it was established Deadpool can do things Captain America can't. So, you know what? It's a Deadpool comic book drawn by Rob Liefeld called the Deadpool Core. Let's not get bogged down in specifics. Okay, seriously. Speaking of Deadpool, Deadpool Team Up number 895. I've been kind of enjoying the Team Up series. This is the weakest one so far. It might just be because I have no idea what a living Colossus is. I guess maybe a Fantastic Four villain of some sort. But the entire time I read that book, I was trying to figure out why the hell I cared. Speaking of why the fuck do I care, Realm of Kings, Son of Hulk, number 2. Really? Rue, you read issue 1. What were you expecting? Why did you pick up issue 2? People watching this, please, have more self-restraint than I do. Don't buy this book. If you're like, but it's Realm of Kings, it's gotta be awesome. No. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry, because like, oh, it's Marvel Cosmic. Everybody remembers what's his name from the guy who's named after the Stargate Atlantis bad guys. It'll come to me later, and then I'll be all mad at myself. Moving on. Amazing Spider-Man number 623. I'm sorry, I'm really beginning to loathe the art in Spider-Man. Look at this crap. Okay, I hate this art. I really, really do. I hate this art so much. I think it makes me hate the book more than I do. Really, I read this book a couple days ago, and all I can remember is the art sucked, and the new Vulture is really creepy. I don't even want to flip through this and tell you what happened, because I don't want to look at the art. So, unless you're a completist, and I've been enjoying the Gauntlet, but unless you're a completist, the art is disgusting. Invincible Iron Man number 24. Anybody who's ever spoken to me about comic books knows I hate Iron Man. I've never enjoyed an Iron Man story, even when he crossed over with X-Men back in the 90s, Fatal Attractions, Blood Ties, all that crap. Is like, oh, great, Iron Man's here, and let me just skip this page. But in an attempt to be more rounded, I've been picking up this newest series. It's only 24 issues. There's a bunch of trades already. I still think that 19 of the 24 issues that I've read, because I haven't been able to find all of them yet, are one big bag of, it's Iron Man. Yay, I guess he's cool. The big reveal in this issue made up for those 19 comics. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm probably going to spoil a bunch of other things, but not this issue. I really, really like this. I didn't like it enough to say that I'm going to keep reading Iron Man after Siege, but this saved the character, like at least this book for me, to the point that I don't feel like I wasted time reading a whole bunch of other comic books from that series. Fall of Hulk's. Okay, we've already had this discussion. I like it, whatever. Fall of Hulk's Savage She-Hulk number 1. All I'm going to say is, Jeff Parker, seriously, how do you take a seemingly lame-ass character as a new She-Hulk from the future? A character whose backup stories in other Hulk books I skipped because she seemed so lame. How do you take her and turn her into this cool of a book and you keep fucking up Thunderbolts? Find your on switch. This was a fun comic. So for a Fall of Hulks, I've had a blast, most of them. And really, Jeff Parker, bring this to the Thunderbolts. Bring this to other things that you're writing. Because really, I'm slowly but surely losing my faith in you. N, period, I guess. I guess you have to pronounce the dot. N number 1. I was going to trade weight this. I'm glad I didn't because I realized how expensive this trade would be, and I'm gonna do a trade special here very soon, and I'll go into that rant. But other than that, I'm also glad that I did not waste time not reading this. The Mayleaf's art, Guggenheim's adaptation. Maybe it's because I didn't read or experience Stephen King's podcast or however he introduced this story to the world the first time. I'm really enjoying this. It's been a long time since I've been this creeped out by a comic book. I highly recommend In. And if you are a trade raider or if it's Stephen King, so you want to have like it in a hardback, I highly, highly recommend this. The art is just, for the tone of this book, the art is wonderful. Weekly World News number 2. I don't remember if I actually did do a review on number 1. I really enjoyed number 1. It's a fun little idea where it's set in a universe where the Weekly World News is a legitimate newspaper. Like, there's Batboy, he exists, blah, blah, blah. Number 1 was fun. It made me buy number 2. Number 2, on the other hand, was not as enjoyable as I found to be for the first issue. It seemed a bit too busy for what I expect from this book. It's an IDW book, so it costs like $4, like all books do now. So I don't have enough money to keep buying a new book that I'm meh about. So issue 3 I'll read, and hopefully it'll save it, because I really don't like dropping books. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Green Hornet. Well, Kevin Smith. Blah, blah, blah. You know what, fanboys? You loved him, you hate him. I don't really care. This was a great comic. Oh my god, this was so much fun. It's Green Hornet. It's a superhero comic book. The fight scenes, the art. Who is it? Jonathan Liu. Dude, wow. Like the cover. Look, it was a pretty book to look at. A fun book to read. I enjoyed the story. I honestly can't wait for issue 2. I just hope that Dynamite, like I keep seeing solicitations for like spin-offs and Kato and all this other stuff. Dynamite, don't flood the market with $4 books for a new universe. You're gonna piss off fanboys, like even me, and collectors. If it comes down to the point that I'm gonna need to pick up 5 other books a month, whether the limited series or not, to understand the main book, I'm not gonna do it. That's me to you, Dynamite. This was a fun book. I highly recommend it, and I'm hopefully gonna be able to talk myself into ignoring the spin-offs and peripherals. Of course, I've recently rediscovered how much I do like Kevin Smith's writing and comic books, and here's hoping his books come out on time. Because, well, it is Kevin Smith. The Boys, number 40. Herogasm was a bit of a letdown, let's all be honest, but we had like 4 issues of where the retelling origins, which was very story-centric, and I enjoyed that, but here, I'm really glad I'm not Hughie. I'm like, yeah, his girlfriend's hot, but he has some big, strong people who don't know what he's up to, mad at him. And I'm looking forward to voyeuristically of that showdown. But I'm really glad that he's fictional. Well, Hughie, him. I'm really glad he's fictional. He's not a friend of mine, and I'm not him because I think it's gonna hurt. Cinderella from Fabletown with Love, number 5. This book is so much fun. They need to do a Cinderella limited series at least once a year, or every other year maybe. Seriously, this, even if you don't read Fables, you basically know the gist by now. Picked up this limited series. It has just been a breath of fresh air and a lot of fun. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, number 33. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Really? Really? Twilight? Really? You know, I'm not going to spoil this for you, because if you really want to know what Twilight is, I'm going to make you suffer like I did. That's my punishment to you. I don't know why, I just don't like you anymore. But really, 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 why do I keep doing this to myself? Speaking of Astro City, The Dark Age, Book 4, number 2. It's gotten to the point that I have to finish the series, but I'm going to take another look at Astro City and me after this. Publishing and the story's not that great. Chew, number 9. I cannot hype this book enough. It's so much fun. If you're looking for something different, the art is fun, the characters are fun. If you look, just pick it up. Try the first trade. It was pretty cheap from what I remember. And finally, Crossed, number 9. Finally, this is over. And I can go back to my peaceful, non-violent zombie book, The Walking Dead. Oh my god, blood, guts, gore. This is not for the faint of heart, and you know that because it says Garth Ennis. There you go. Again, I'm going to do a trade thing special here soon. Sorry I was late, and have a good one. Later, peeps.